Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, this is Boisterous coming to you with some Masters League Magnificence out of our map today. It's going to be Red City LE. Spying out here in the bottom right-hand corner, we do have dasEs as our red Terran player, and up here in the top right-hand corner, we do have Entro as the blue Protoss player. And oh my god, that just confused me. I thought I said dasEs was red twice, which it always sounds awkward in an intro, but then I was like, wait a second, I just named the map, and the map has red in it. So I just got super distracted in my own head. And yeah, that was just a small walkthrough of what I deal with in an everyday life of being me. I get confused a lot, just don't even question it. Looks like we have dasEs moving out to drop his first supply depot. Of course, dasEs is a random player, so Entro really does not know what he's going up against. I wouldn't be too surprised to see a very early probe scout. There we have a 10 scout coming out, not too much of an amazing thing. I would have even expected a little bit of an earlier one, especially on a map like Red City where spawns could be like anywhere, because you know, they can spawn literally anywhere. And I mean, Entro isn't going to be scouting his opponent. He isn't going to be scouting his opponent. I doubt dasEs is going to leave this door open for that long. Honestly, I think that the way Entro is going to learn what his opponent is going to be dasEs' SCV rolling into his base for a scout of his own, but, you know, I don't even know if dasEs is going to be scouting. So we are going to have this probe just wandering around the map for quite a while. Of course, this is Red City, which I have to say, it's one of the most convoluted maps on the map pool. Or, well, it is the most convoluted map on the map pool. Like, this map is just ridiculous. I've never actually seen it played in a cross spawns locations game, but I can imagine it would be absolutely insane cross spawns. I only ever see it lateral, like vertical or horizontal spawns for whatever reason, and it just plays out so weird because the entire other half of the map doesn't even matter. Like usually that's how 4-player maps go, is if you're lateral or horizontal, the other half of the map doesn't even matter. But there are those maps where it kind of can matter, like you can take expansions over there. On this map, it's just so spread out and it's so easy to split someone's bases in half that it literally like does not even compute to try to take those other bases. I mean, Red City is just such a tight map, and there's like 3 attack paths, but you can open it up and make it into a full circle, and then you can just do ridiculous things to your base that just don't make any sense. And it's just a really, really confusing map. Of course, it's also one of the better macro ones. And oh my god, Entro getting completely blocked out of the base there with that reactor going down on that barracks just in time for dasEs. It looks like this Marine will be moving out across the map. I'm guessing it saw that probe and was like, well, I know where he is, because there's no way a probe would take that long to reach him. So he's going to be sending his Marine up to the northern position. He will be able to scout out his opponent. There is, of course, nothing really up here currently. However, there is a photon cannon coming down. And Entro building up an interesting tech path. I mean, he did go Forge first, which is weird, because he's not playing against the Zerg. I guess he could have been playing against the Zerg, but I don't know why he would build it in base if that was a possibility. Yeah, I don't know. Entro just being a little bit weird here. It looks like this Marine will be able to sneak into the main base here. There is, of course, really nothing to defend, and with some good micro, we can see this Marine do a little bit of damage. Oh, is the Marine gonna get the probe? Oh, the probe! Oh, the probe! Oh my god, that probe living with just 4 health. Oh man, that would have been so awesome had dasEs actually gotten that kill off. It looks like this Hellion will be trying to sneak in here. However, there is a photon cannon, and he did stop to take a shot, so that was not the best thing ever. So he will get denied that, and there the full wall off finishes up for Entro, so there is going to be no more sneaking into the base of Entro. dasEs is just going to have to kind of sit back on his base and chill for a little while. He is going to continue his Hellion production, but it's not really going to matter. Entro is, of course, going to be taking a very, very early economic lead here, as he does have his natural already completed and ready to go, and dasEs isn't there yet. I mean, dasEs still needs to finish up this command center and then float it down to his natural to actually build, you know, his natural and get his economy up to par with his opponent. And this entire time, you know, Entro's going to be building up his economy, and Entro's going to be getting ready. We do have this SCV just sitting here kind of awkwardly, and oh wow, these Hellions can actually snipe away at the Cybernetics core, which is most certainly annoying. And Entro also does not actually have a stalker out yet, so I doubt that these Hellions will be able to kill the Cybernetics core, because I don't think Entro is that silly, but they can definitely do some damage to it. They can definitely be bothersome. And really, that's all that matters in a game like StarCraft, is just be annoying to your opponent, and eventually they'll leave. You know, that's how you win. And it looks like these 3 Hellions might be able to get some hull damage, but I kind of doubt it, as the Mothership Core has now finally popped out. So the Mothership Core will be here. It will be scaring off this Hellion force, and there it's going to start firing. Oh, actually, what are these Hellions doing? They're just sacrificing themselves to try to get some hull damage to the Cybernetics Core. There's no way you're going to snipe out that Cybernetics Core. I'm sorry dasEs, but your Hellions do 8 damage to it per shot, and they have like one of the longest shot cooldowns of the Terran arsenal. Like 2.5 seconds is a long time to wait in between shots. That's really only outranged by like siege tanks and widow mines, basically. And that's siege tanks, not unsiege siege tanks. And actually, that might be even with siege tanks. Hellions shoot really freaking slow. That's basically what I'm trying to get at here. Like 2.5 seconds is a long time in a game of StarCraft, and you know, considering the fact that they do 3 DPS to a Cybernetics Core, that thing ain't gonna go down anytime soon. It looks like we are gonna have Warp Gate technology finishing up here, so all 3 Warp Gates will be created right now. It looks like we are gonna have a factory going into proxy in Entro's base. I bet this is really just a scouting factory to be annoying, but that's certainly an interesting position to decide to drop it down, because can Entro see that? Yeah, he can. Alright, okay, so Entro should be fine here. Because of the Mothership Core. But I swear to God, if this factory gets up and actually builds something, I'm just gonna laugh. It looks like we are gonna have a drop coming in here with 4 Hellions. There is, of course, already a Photon Cannon down, so this thing shouldn't be able to do too much damage. There, a Photon Overcharge comes in, and oh, these Hellions, lining them up. Oh, no. This entire drop's gonna get cleaned up. And that's a little bit nasty for dasEs. He did not really get too much damage done. He only managed to kill off 7 workers, which is okay, but for a drop that was full of medevacs and Hellions, that's not worth it at all. It looks like we are going to have dasEs building up tech labs and reactors onto his barracks, but this is really a small amount of production for a Terran player at this point. He should probably have at least 2 more barracks. We do have warp ins from Entro starting to happen here. Of course, Blink is on the way, so we might see some Blink play out of our blue Protoss player. And I'm not sure how aggressive he should really be trying to be right now. I mean, Terran players have a really strong early game composition for killing off gateway units, especially if you're trying to engage into the army of a Terran player, and a double especially if you don't have any actual sentries. And we're gonna see Entro manage to chase his, or we're gonna see dasEs manage to chase his opponent out of here. And wow, this is just kind of crazy damage for dasEs to be doing now. I mean, Entro really cannot fight this, and I don't know why Entro tried to move in there, because, you know, unless your opponent is literally going straight Hellion, you're never going to have an engagement like that works. It looks like we are going to have the drop happening right now, and there the drop goes down. They really don't want to try to kill anything too scary. This is a lot of stalkers now, so we might actually be able to take a favorable engagement here. However, with good stutter stepping micro, no, there's no way. No, with this blink micro is just way too good for Entro, so we are going to see a complete cleanup for Entro. He manages to kill off all the units, but for dasEs, that doesn't really matter. I mean, that was just like a small expeditionary force, and he kept the thing that was very important to keep alive. He kept that medevac. He kept those medevacs alive. He should be building a reactor onto something in order to get a reactor onto the starport, but that's kind of the issue when you use your factory to scout, is you don't have anything to power reactors and power tech labs off of. So you're kind of behind as far as add-ons go. It looks like we are going to have a small hit squad of stalkers moving in here. However, this is more than enough bio to be able to fight those things off. Do we have upgrades for our players right now? Yeah, we have +1 weapons for both players. +1 armor is coming in for dasEs. This is still a scary amount of stalkers. I mean, dasEs really should not be abandoning his front this easily. He should be hanging back and trying to hold on to it, because he really does not have the Marauders coming out to deal with something like this, and he should really be kicking into high gear as far as Marauder production goes. Marines don't really matter against Protoss players for quite a while. I mean, unless you're facing off against an Airtoss player, you really want a lot of Marauders in your army, because they're good against Colossi, they're good against Storms, they're good against Stalkers, they're good against basically everything except for like Zealot Archon. They're favorable against. It looks like we are going to have sentries finally warping in for Entro. This is a little bit of a late time to try to go for a sentry push. I guess it could still work because Red City is, again, such a convoluted map, but I'm really not sure. And it looks like we are going to have both of our players moving out against one another, which is a little bit awkward. We might have a small base trade scenario happening right now. Actually, no, dasEs is just moving out to secure his 3rd base. And it looks like this entire Protoss army is going to be moving up here. And oh god, oh god, this is going to be a base trade. I thought that he was just securing his third. No, this is going to be a full-on base trade. It looks like we are going to have this massive Protoss army swinging down here. They will be able to snipe off that barracks. And this is not good for dasEs. We are going to have this entire Stalker force moving up here. And oh, we have the force field on the main base, but Entro does not know that there's actually a sledgehammer of Terran units coming in behind him. But oh my god, there's just way too much Protoss, and the medevacs were not with that army. We are going to have a large amount of these Stalkers getting carved out here. And actually, with the support from the SCVs in the back, we might manage to see dasEs hold this off and push back his opponent. And oh my god, how did he manage to hold on to that? dasEs just with better upgrades and, you know, with a force that actually had units that fight off Stalkers, is able to kill off his opponent. And we have good Blink Stalker micro from Entro coming in here. And actually, man, this is a really nice play from Entro, being able to snipe off all of those bio units. And it looks like he is going to force his opponent back. However, dasEs has a reasonable expeditionary air force in his main base. There is, of course, still no sentries with this army, so they will not be able to shut off that main base. And it looks like they're just going to be kind of trying to bait the Protoss force into attacking the natural. And here they're going to be coming down the ramp with a nice stim, and they will be able to pick off quite a few of these Stalkers. Still good Blink micro is going to keep a lot of these guys alive, and this Bioforce will not be able to fight off these Stalkers alone. It looks like we also have a small push going into the main base, trying to draw off Warpins, but I'm not sure if it really matters because we just have Entro with such a powerful macro machine coming down on his opponent very hard here. And it looks like we are going to have Marauders coming out, you know, 2-3 at a time, but it just does not matter because there's just way too many Stalkers. And I'm really not sure about this. I mean, dasEs is definitely falling behind as far as macro goes, but the thing is that he is, you know, Terran, so he does have those mules, which are extremely powerful tools. The issue is that he really does not have any money left. I mean, he's basically on only gas, and you can't build units with just gas. You really need that mineral income. We do have this medevac with Marines being amazingly useful, of course, because you can't blink step away from Marine shots, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, Entro's army is just way too large, and dasEs is forced to tap out and call the GG. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching this video. If you want more Boisterous action, head on over to Boisterous SC2 or youtube.com/BoisterousSC2. Also, if you'd like your games commentated, send them on into boisteroussc2@gmail.com. I'd like to thank you all for tuning in to this episode of Boisterous, and I'll see you guys next time.